I'm Paula, welcome to Vox Populix and welcome to the second part of the Phrasal Verbs series. If you haven't watched the first video, go and check it out. Today we are talking about types of phrasal verbs and how to learn them. We need to know there are 4 types of phrasal verbs. First, we have what we called transitive phrasal verbs and intransitive phrasal verbs. Transitive phrasal verbs are the ones that require an object in the sentence to make complete sense. For example, she looks after. You are missing something there for the sentence to make sense. She looks after what? She looks after her children. The same happens with turn off. Please turn off. Turn off what? The radio, the TV? Please turn off the lights. He is trying to give up. He is trying to give up what? Oh, he is trying to give up smoking. Phrasal verbs that do not require an object in the sentence are called intransitive phrasal verbs. For example, when do you get up? The thief ran away. The car broke down. Inside intransitive phrasal verbs, we have 2 types: separable phrasal verbs and inseparable phrasal verbs. If the phrasal verb is separable, it means I can separate the verb from the preposition or adverb. For example, the phrasal verb turn off, it's separable because the object can go between the verb turn and the word off and it still sounds okay. So as well as being able to say turn off the lights, we can also say turn the lights off. However, if the object is a pronoun, there is only one placement option. The pronoun must be placed between the verb and the preposition or adverb. For example, I took it off. I cannot say I took off it. It's incorrect and it sounds weird, doesn't it? As the name says, inseparable phrasal verbs are inseparable. They always need to be together. For example, the phrasal verb run away. The thief ran away. We cannot split that phrasal verb. Or the phrasal verb look after. She looks after her children. We cannot say she looks her children after. She looks after her children. Inseparable. Now, the big question, how do we learn phrasal verbs? It is pretty easy to find list after list of phrasal verbs on the internet and in grammar books. But that may not be the best way to learn them. Keep in mind that every time that we try to memorize long lists of vocabulary, we are missing the context. And as I always say, context is important. So these are my recommendations. First, group your phrasal verbs by topics. For example, at work, watching a football match, at the airport. Think about how many phrasal verbs are commonly used in each of these situations and write them down. For example, at the airport, there is always the same phrasal verbs that people commonly use. Oh, we need to check in half an hour. The plane takes off in 10 minutes. Hurry up. Don't forget to look after your luggage. Organizing your phrasal verbs by topic makes them more relatable and interesting to learn. In addition, you are learning how to use them in real-life situations and not just memorizing abstract meanings. Second, learn phrasal verbs by watching YouTube videos, listening to songs, and reading any authentic content. This is so powerful because, again, you can see how phrasal verbs are used in real life. Last but not least, Think about a personal story where you can use these phrasal verbs. For example, let's say that you are learning the phrasal verb get along with. Get along with means to have a good and friendly relationship with someone. So you could say, when I was a child, I didn't get along with my sister. It took us a couple of years actually to have a good relationship. By connecting a personal story to the phrasal verb that you're learning, it will make it much easier to remember. In conclusion, use context. Context is incredibly important when learning a language. We tend to retain and remember more the things that we can relate to. Unfortunately, there is no magic method for learning phrasal verbs. It takes time, patience, and commitment. But just give yourself the time to practice phrasal verbs and to get more confident with using them. Pick at least 5 phrasal verbs per day and put them into practice during your daily routine, and you're going to notice how much faster you improve. And that's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I will see you next week. Bye!